washington.edu accounts. Yes.
So I'm a first year BSN student, so theoretically after spring quarter, I would be eligible to be inducted. So that means that in the second year, you can join as a member. Does that mean that until graduation, you have to retain 35% standing or the GPA? Is there like, how does that work?
It's a great question.
It's a great question. I mean, we've done this now how many years? Well, yeah.
Okay.
We've done this so many years that it seemed to work. I mean, obviously if there's a question, if the letters go out or the email comes out and you're still questioning, why didn't I get an email or what, you can always contact Vicki or I and we will troubleshoot. It's just that what Sigma Theta Tau wants for an undergrad is to have at least half of that nursing curriculum under your belt in a sense. So if you may not be eligible quite yet because you're not halfway through, right?
Right.
But
But
until the end of spring.
Correct.
But next year it'll be at that point in time. So when we ask academic services, it'll be, what's your GPA at now?
And then,
Yeah.
and then for the remainder of the program, if there are no guidelines of certain percentages or GPAs that you have to meet until graduation.
Like once you get inducted.
Oh, once you get in.
you get inducted as
Oh, no, personally, you might have your own goals, but for us, no. Once you're in forever. And you can transfer so say you go to graduate school at a different location, UCLA, so, or Berkeley or something, and you can transfer some people have a dual membership, where you were inducted. Some people like to hold where they were inducted close to their heart, so they always maintain a membership here, but then they also transfer or have dual membership at where you're new, where you are, in the future. I know Diana belongs to two. She belongs to where she was inducted originally and then where she currently is located at the time, if it be a university. And some might ask, just FYI, some might ask, what happens to those who miss this opportunity? This is a wonderful opportunity to do when you're in school. We have a captivated audience. You will be, invited. If you meet the criteria according to Sigma Theta Tau, there's not criteria we set up, but from the international, there are opportunities and it comes under a nurse leader application. So if you are out working in 6 months or in a year, you're working and you would still like to join Sigma Theta Tau, I think it would be wonderful for your future graduate application, your master's application or whatever you plan to do, that you can apply as a nurse leader application. Those nurse leader applications come to Vicki and I. We have to go through the CV. We look at GPA. We look at all someone from the outside coming in, and then we as a board approve that application. So there is an opportunity if it doesn't work out through UW during this induction. There is a way to come in through I didn't include that criteria there, but there is inclusion criteria as well.
Jason.
Oh yes, Jason.
So for the 35 percentile,
Yes,
is the cutoff just from last winter quarter? This quarter is not going to be considered?
correct.
Okay.
Right, because I emailed her a couple weeks ago, so we were in spring quarter. So winter will be our cutoff. Yeah. Yes.
Is there a GPA cutoff for outside sources, or can I access that somewhere else?
Yes,
If you don't
and
make the 35th percentile mark.
I'll pull it up. I have the email from our inductions board member. I just didn't include it because I didn't know the audience I have here is mostly undergrads, but I'll pull it up right now so we can look at it. Okay. Oh gosh, yes, in the back. Here we go.
Okay. In terms of the criteria for your grade point average, is that based upon just your nursing classes or cumulative of your undergraduate prerequisites and all other?
I think it's just nursing.
I think it's just nursing.
And you can find that on your unofficial transcript.
Right.
It separates them out.
Great question.
Great question. I will double check. I think it's just nursing. I will double check. Because I have to see what so we didn't mention this, but Sigma Theta Tau is part of, maybe we're going to say this, we're with others. It's Sigma Theta Tau Tacoma, Sigma Theta Tau, or UW Tacoma, UW Bothell, Pacific Lutheran University, and Seattle Pacific University. There are 5 of us total in this Psi at-large chapter.
And 2
we're
more
actually
coming in.
adding 2 more, Northwest University
Northwest University and Olympic College.
and Olympic College are joining our ranks in the next year. So there's a large group. Now each, obviously each university is run a little bit differently. Like at PLU, there's only 35 in their graduating class. So it's very small. Induction ceremony, we have a larger, we are the largest. We like to try to, last year, we didn't have as many, I'm not sure why, but in previous years, we've inducted, each year a larger and increasing amount of inductees, which is wonderful to see. That's what we want. We want to see more and more inductees over the years.
Is there a fee after you have been accepted?
When you join, there is a membership fee. It's $85 to join, and it's $85 to renew. It costs you money if you when you do. Remember, I talked about transferring to another. I think that's a few $15 to transfer to another chapter, but. This is the year to join, because then it'll be on your resume for the next year. They're going to increase the dues in July, so by $4.50. So I just read that in their newsletter. So this is the time to do it. Do it before July. If you have, so that's another caveat that I learned last year. So I'm learning as with this induction ceremony. It takes a lot to make all the reservations and to get everybody in line and get all the invitations uploaded and make sure everyone answer all the questions. Once that invitation's granted to you from Sigma Theta Tau International, you have a year to join. But what we strongly encourage is we encourage you to join us in June 5th, for the induction ceremony. Because then you'll get your cord for graduation, you'll be all set, all good, you'll leave University of Washington all taken care of as a member of Sigma Theta Tau. But you have I learned this last year, you actually have a year from that invitation date to join. So if $85 is not in the budget before June 5th, well actually a week before that, but before June 5th, then maybe you can swing it a little bit later. But that invitation's good for a year. So that's something I learned. Yeah.
Also,
So do they invite people just once a year?
Actually, in the last couple of years, we've had a few people who have not been able to because they were in Hawaii. Last year we had someone in Hawaii. So we actually held a fall induction ceremony. One of the programs we put on, and I'm taking up Steve and Vicky's time, but we do a fall program, usually at PLU, so you do have to drive down to the Tacoma area, the greater Tacoma area, but it's a CEU talk on a Saturday morning, and we do an induction ceremony for a few people who were not able to come for their university June graduation.
I was just curious because for first year students, we wouldn't be eligible until the fall, I think.
Yeah.
Until after this quarter is over, so I was just wondering when we would be looking at induction, if it would be next June or if it would be in the fall.
Yeah, because unfortunately, we don't have the manpower or the capacity to run, and AS does not like us when we do this, because it takes up a lot of their time. We only run names once per year. That's sorry. We only upload, to Sigma Theta Tau once per year, and they're expecting us to, and that's how now unless we change in the next couple of years, but that's how we've done it for many, many years. Okay. Oh, yes. Wow, they keep coming, all the questions.
Is this
Great questions.
induction ceremony different from the graduation ceremony?
Yes, it is actually, it's a different, so this might be a good time. Any more criteria questions? I'll turn it over to Vicki to talk about the induction itself, so you guys kind of know what to expect.
Okay, just to talk about induction, and as we said, is it Wednesday?
No,
It's
June
Tuesday.
5th. June 5th. It's
I think it might be Tuesday. So it's June 5th, it's from 6 p.m. to 8 p.m. And we'll of course be sending out more information about that. But it's, what happens at induction? We have food. And
Good
we
food.
welcome
Good food.
Tuesday, thank you, Tuesday, June 5th. So we have food, good food actually.
Mhm.
And it's really fun because a lot of parents, if they're in town, and the parents and families end up coming. And what we do is we have a speaker who'll speak for a brief moment. We'll give a little bit again, a little bit about a history of Sigma Theta Tau, and then we have, what's really fun, is kind of the formal pledge that you say. It's just a carryover from those, 6 nurses in Indiana who have this pledge. So you'll say that pledge, and then you're officially inducted. I mean, you'll sign the induction register, and then what happens is you'll also get corded during induction. We'll actually put this cord over you, and it'll be yours to keep. That is part of you joining our chapter. And then what really is fun is, of course, graduation is a few days after that. Please wear these to graduation, because when the dean is talking, she will acknowledge the Sigma Theta Tau members and have them stand. And you'll be listed in the program as being a member. So there's a lot of good reasons to go ahead and do that induction ceremony. So we will be sending out information about the induction ceremony. There'll be a small fee. We haven't yet decided. We're just kind of rolling along here, but there'll be a small fee to bring your family or parents or anything like that you want to that ceremony. It's quite lovely. It's going to be held at the UW Faculty Club. So it has its beautiful glass windows, and it overlooks really Lake Washington. So it's really quite lovely. So stay tuned for that. Any questions about induction? Not so much.
So it is different than graduation?
Yes, it's different than graduation. Do you absolutely have to come to induction to be a member? No. Do we really, really want you to come? Absolutely. Because it's fun, and you get cords, okay? There's a lot of reasons to.
It's a week of partying for graduation. It's
Carrot.
part of that.
Yeah, exactly. So that's induction, all right? I just want to say a couple